Hi, welcome back to the Off Plan Show. My name is Mirio Koto. It's good to see you again. Now, the real estate market in Dubai, as always, is going through an amazing boom. Now, here are 5 key trends that we're seeing across the real estate market because so many things are happening out there, and if you don't follow these trends, then you might be missing out on amazing real estate investment opportunity. Just like any other market, the real estate market is very cyclical, and things tend to go up and down. Now, here are 5 key trends that I've noticed in the real estate market lately. I have them on a list, and I'll be more than happy to share them with you. Now, number one trend that we've seen in the real estate market is, of course, the demand in townhouses. Everybody already knows this, that the demand in townhouses has been rising and has been rising really, really fast. And it's not going to slow down anytime soon. Now, that's a good thing because that ensures that the property that you pick up will always retain value and will always sell higher compared to the last time that you bought it for. Now, we're also seeing an incredible trend with the type of townhouses that are doing very well. 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom townhouses are really, really doing very well. They are faster to lease out if you want to rent them out for, the ROI, and they're also quicker to sell if you want to flip your property. So townhouses are doing great, particularly the 3-bedroom townhouse and the 4-bedroom townhouse. That's because usually people invest the 1-bed and the 2-bed, and after that, they typically tend to move to a townhouse. Now, when you graduate to a townhouse, you always do a 3-bed. Could be a 3-bed with a maid or a 4-bed with a maid. But that's the kind of trends that we're seeing right now. Trend number 2 is the increase in population and traffic. I'm sure if you live in Dubai, you've already noticed this by now, that the population is increasing rapidly. We just hit 4 million people here in Dubai. Now, that's really, really good. And if you see the trend, it's not going to stop anytime soon. That's just going to continue rising and rising. Now, that's a good thing for real estate investors and businesses here in Dubai. Now, what does that mean? How does that translate to your real estate investment? Well, that means that your rent is going to do well, still going to be high. I remember that people were saying that there's going to be an oversupply in the market. Well, I don't know if you're paying attention, but the rents don't seem to go down. They just seem to go higher and higher. Yes, at some areas they might seem to plateau a little bit, where they just, like level out, flat. You see just a flat line, but it's again going to go up, and I can bet everything that that trend will continue to rise up. And the prices aren't coming down anyway, right? You might say that, that we're getting more, real estate projects in Dubai, so the prices might drop, but that's not happening, right? The prices keep on going, especially in off-plan, right? You might think that developers are releasing more real estate projects, so the prices should drop because there's a lot of competition, but it's the other way around. More developers are releasing more products into the market, but still the prices just keep on going higher and higher. And not just the prices, they're all getting sold out within a few weeks. So that's a sign of a very healthy market. Number 3 is new locations. Now, this is quite interesting. I mean, if you pay attention to the real estate market here in Dubai, then you might notice that new locations which were considered far away from downtown and not desirable are now starting to be called prime location or areas. Now, this blows me away every time. I remember way back when we were started to do this real estate stuff, Dubai South was considered so far away. But look at Dubai South now. Prices just keep on going up and properties just keep on appreciating. It is now a prime area. Look at the Valley. A couple years back, we used to think that the Valley was far away. Who would buy property in the Valley? But now it's a whole different project, whole different ball game, and the Valley is now being considered a prime area and a prime community for townhouses and villas. And keep an eye on these areas because it's going to continue to skyrocket. It's not going to go down anytime soon. So these areas which we thought were like undesirable, they are now hot spots. They're now hot cake. They're just flying off the shelf because everybody wants them. Townhouses and villa communities are moving towards these areas. So what does that mean to you as an investor, especially if you're a land investor? Don't overlook an area just because you think that it's far away. Don't overlook a project just because you think that it's far away, okay? Because development is moving towards that side, sooner rather than later, all right? I would go ahead and say that if you're within a 15-kilometer to 20-kilometer radius from where civilization is, that is a good area for investment, if you're doing land. Also, if you want to do real estate investment at the cheapest price per square foot, 15 to 20 kilometers radius from where civilization is, that is good for investment because development is going to go there. Look at an area, for example, like DeMarc Hills 2. DeMarc Hills 2, the next big community from DeMarc Hills 2 is probably, you might say, Town Square by Nashama. And that's about 15 kilometers away, right? Look at the Valley, right? The Valley, you might think it's far away, but the next big residential complex next to the Valley is probably, you might think, is Dubai Land, right? And that's about 20 kilometers away. So areas that we used to think that were undesirable are now becoming, very, very desirable, big hotspots, and is attracting bigger and bigger investors. All right. Now, number 4, don't sleep on new developers. Some of them have great deals, they have great quality, great design, and they have cheaper prices as well. Now, of course, you have to do your research before you buy any property from any real estate developer, right? But long gone are the days when you used to ignore a developer just because they're new to the market. Newer developers are coming into the game and they're coming in blazing and they're coming in with really, really good developments, amazing projects at an amazing price per square foot, great payment plan, and they go all out to ensure that you get the best because they're trying to build a name in the market. So don't ignore a new real estate developer just because they're new, all right? Do your research, make sure they're backed, try to find out who are they, where they're from, do they have experience, what else have they developed, but do not ignore new real estate developers, especially for new real estate investors, people who haven't invested in any real estate before. Try to look at new developers because they have cheaper prices and they could be beneficial to you. So take new developers very, very seriously because they have money there. They tend to offer very, very good deals. So you just gotta have an eye for it. You gotta be very keen on picking out real estate developers and projects. And number 5 is commercial real estate. Now, commercial real estate is booming and it's doing really, really well. Commercial real estate right now are doing anywhere between 10% ROI, 15% ROI, and some are even doing 20% ROI. I remember way back, people used to ignore commercial real estate as an investment because it didn't used to do very well. But now the script has flipped, the tables have turned, and commercial real estate is on the rise. I think we'll continue to see that trend. The more we get the population increasing and more people coming into Dubai, we're getting about 30,000 people moving into Dubai every year. We're going to see that trend continue. The more we see businesses moving into Dubai, big companies relocating headquarters to Dubai, we're going to see that trend continue. The more we see high net worth individuals moving their family offices to Dubai and creating, shell companies and, holding companies here in Dubai. We're going to see that trend continue. The more we see that some areas are being way too trafficked, and the need to have other areas away from traffic where people can commute and come to work and do business. A great example is Business Bay. Now, Business Bay is just riddled with traffic. It's just too much traffic. Even though Business Bay is a great and fantastic location to set up your office and business, the traffic there can be a nightmare. You could just be stuck in traffic for about an hour with your car not moving. You're just in between two cars. But we're seeing trends. People are moving away from Business Bay. They're going to newer areas, and they're trying to find solutions which are away from the CBD and the main business hub, because traffic is way much better, just a better living or working condition and experience, because in Business Bay you'll be paying a whole lot of money for a smaller square footage of a office or property. But when you move outside of Business Bay for commercial reasons, then you get bigger sizes and better working conditions, right? Because the office is just going to be bigger and better. So we're seeing that trend happening all over Dubai. And most importantly is that every commercial project that's been released are all sold out, right? And they sell out faster compared to the residential projects right now. I remember way back it was the other way around. When you tried to sell commercial real estate, people weren't buying. People were just focused on residential. But we come to understand that all these people moving to Dubai, they need to work, right? They have to make a living, right? They have to do some type of business. And that's why the commercial real estate, commercial sector is booming right now. And we're going to continue to see that trend skyrocket for the foreseeable future. It's not going to stop anytime soon. We still have at least 1 million people to move into Dubai. 5 million, I think, is like a sweet spot for the population in Dubai. But still, we got a lot of space and more people are going to come in. So commercial real estate is going to continue to thrive, because we still have a lot of areas which are on top. So commercial real estate is going to do good. Now, these are 5 major real estate trends that I've noticed this year. I hope this was informative and it helped you make a very well-informed decision. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Muriel Cotto, and I'll see you on the next one.